talk about this thesis and its derivatives, the visible cross of the invisible administration, and before events coagulate into matter, they're prefigured in a subtle domain of organizing intelligences, be that government fields, and be it's not merely political in their sense, but architecture in cognition itself. They're metastructures that distribute probability and trajectories and sanction certain outcomes while rendering others negligible. Matter in this model is in an execution layer, so spontaneous success, social elevation, or romantic selection is the downstream effect of upstream patterning. Governance here is not only parliamentary or corporate, it's algorithmic, archetypal, memetic. It consists of pattern directives that circulate through institutions, technology, fasting and internalized belief systems. They think they choose, yet they're available upon a curation of invisible coding. So within this code, there's an operating logic. Not everybody receives equal bandwidth of possibility. Certain numerical clusters, small percentages of the population, are allocated disproportionate leverage. This asymmetry, it goes taught, and there's a function in a condensed way. They can take forms of digital physical currency, visibility access, and narrative authority, and privileged treatment. It's a crystallized permission structure. The possession of tokens bends the around the holder, and friction decreasing, obstacles dissolving preemptively. Doors are open before their breath out. So the government recognizes that the calibration of probability in favor of a spare. Conversely, token scarcity can amplify mistakes, and they become costly. Thus, any economic ontological shapes, thickness or thinness of the world one inhabits. Importantly, governance fields do not operate solely through coercion, they function through alignment. Individuals, they evaluate and add the item to the description. So it's desirable success in partnerships observed and absorbed and observed. In this way, governance becomes self-propagating, like a hydrangea plant, and it becomes a microconduct of an avocado tree. So these norms are not legislated, but deeply embedded. Digital systems intensify this process, and algorithms quantify the tension and convert it into capital. It feeds the visibility, and visibility feels things. And then it redistributes the feedback loop, which emerges in the concentration compound. The governance fields, they increase on assembling like an engine, rewarding those already advantaged by amplifying their reach and diminishing their descent into the peripheral voices. Yet these mental entities, these governance fields, they're not omnipotent in a rarefied sense. They persist because they are believed and enacted on a technological instant. So their authority is distributed across billions of micro decisions. Every silence is the reminder that a crucial insight is the one that privilege is not just a matter of possessions, but encoded narrative. Those with larger token shares, they legitimize their concentration in this way in a meritocracy myth. A doctrine of scarcity, that these narratives stabilize the system by rendering asymmetry natural or even virtuous. Governance thus operates simultaneously as a resource allocation as meaning. To question this structure requires more than economic performances, but epistemic recalibration. One must detect the mental layer that precedes material distribution by recognizing that the execution layer is downstream from conceptual governance, and individuals may begin to experience alternative scripts, redistributing attention, redefining value, and disrupting nature, altering them at the altar of the physical world conceived as the rendered Buddha statue.